Welcome to It's All Good, Magic, Mysticism, and Earth Medicine. Visit us at www.magicandmedicine.blogspot.com. I'm your host, Dr. Candace Nadine Green.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 74, Harvesting Your Accomplishments. Well, happy Mabon. I know that there are going to be a lot of people who disagree with the way I'm pronouncing it. I even Googled it. I looked it up and to see how how the Welsh pronounce it, how everyone pronounces it, and it was just too much information. So I said, I'm just going to do the show, and people can write me angry emails if they want. So, hello. So it is fall, and this is a little bit late, about 2 days or 3 days late recording this show, but I'm still happy to talk about today's show, to record today's show, actually, excuse me. So it's harvest time, and for those who are witchy people or mystic people, we have certain things we like to think about. And for me, what I like to do is have a harvest. Not only, I'm also a very big time gardener. I have a nice sized garden, and this is the time that I'm, laying down the garden and prepping it and getting it ready for the cold months, and thinking about what I'm going to do for the next season, the next spring. But I also take that concept and I apply it to my own life. And what I've done this year is I've written down things in my journal. I thought about my accomplishments thus far in 2019 and what I call, I sort of harvest these accomplishments. I write them down, I take them and I put them down in my journal so I can look back at them. Now, the trick is to not say things like, well, I wanted to do so-and-so, but I didn't seem to get around it. No, that's negative. So we don't say things like that. We say the things that we've done. And for me, it was really a big eye-opener when I looked back at 2019, because sometimes I feel that I haven't done much, even though I'm working all the time. When you work from home and do the mom thing as well, and the wife thing as well, you sometimes feel that you're not doing anything. But this harvest season is a time when you can look back and say and be reminded of the things you did do. And for me, I'll use myself as an example. And I'm not bragging here. I'm using this as an example. And also, this is what's in my harvest entry in my journal. So in 2019, in the beginning, I think I published about three books this year thus far. Yes, Born Different, Today I Feel Ugly, and a children's book called Moonchild. So that's, it's 3 books in a year. It's amazing, isn't it? I think so. And also I finished writing the draft and proofreading the draft of another children's book that will be coming out soon. And that made me feel good because I have oftentimes compared myself to other authors and say, oh my goodness, they have this and I'm not doing things. But again, this harvest season makes you feel good. It gives you a positive outlook on what you do. You only talk about the positive things. Also, in regards, I've done a lot of shows, a lot of author events. I'm very surprised. I'm a member of the Association of the Rhode Island Association of Authors. Association, yeah, it's ARIA, A-R-I-A. So I think it's the Association of Rhode Island Authors, but it's A-R-I-A. A-R-I-A, ARIA. Anyway, so Yeah, so that's the Association of Rhode Island Authors, and being a member of them has given me a lot of access to other author events that I might not otherwise know, for reasonable prices and getting spaces. And I've done very well at these shows. I've met a lot of people, networked. I did a story time at Inkfish Books in Warren, which is lovely. It was nice reading the story to the children, so that was great. Also, um, in regards to my art, 2019, the same thing. Uh, I joined an artist group, and I had a lot of art events, and there was one recently with very well. I love doing my art and painting and things, and sometimes I look at other people's art, and again, like we have the tendency to do, I compared myself to these other artists and say, wow, their art's different, it's better than mine, and blah blah blah. And I actually sold quite a few at a lot of these art events, so it was very good, and it inspires me to continue. Also, in regards to my mystical business, I've done some gallery readings, which is great, some intuitive gallery readings. I've helped people. It just, and because I've been doing a lot of reading, I'm always reading. And I read something, and I remember in this book that I was reading, it said, the author had said, if you want opportunities, you have to actually do the work and let the opportunities come. So that's what I did. I said, I'm not going to worry about chasing the opportunities. I'm going to do the work. And that's what I did. I did the work. Every single day I was writing and doing my art and doing the show and everything every single day. And these opportunities, I was just the universe led me to opportunities, and led me to join ARIA. That was last year, but I joined the ARIA. But all these things have come up, and it's just amazing how the abundance, the overflow, and all of this has given me such great self-confidence. And also I would not record a lot of shows here on It's All Good, because I was afraid that because I didn't have a guest like I always had when the show was the Awaken Path Radio, then no one would listen to me. But I've listened to other shows, and they didn't have guests. Some shows didn't have guests every week. It was just them giving information, which I think is great too. So I've gotten over the fear of not being able to have a guest every week, because I'm doing other things. So it's hard it takes a lot of effort and time to go hunting guests. So I just decided I'm just going to do the work. The guests will come. And I've already gotten some emails, people saying they want to be on the show. And I said, great, let's schedule. So look for guests soon. But that's another accomplishment in 2019. So I feel less stressed than I did last year, which is great. Also, another harvest thing for 2019 is a big thing for me was embracing myself as a mystic, as a healer, as who I am, an author artist. I wanted to create, use all my gifts and create myself. Who am I? Candace Nadine Breen, mystic, healer, author, artist. That's me. And I finally got it, and I said, that's my essence. That is who I am. And a mystic accompanies a lot of things. I mean, I do shamanism too, witchcraft, all of these different things, mediumship. So mystic just says it all, because I didn't want to have to put 10 labels there. Mystic says everything that I am. Green witch, because of my gardening, my green thumb here. I love, love, love to be in the garden. I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. And I also love harvesting and eating from the earth. And it's beautiful. It's healthy. It's free of chemicals, because I don't use chemicals in my gardening at all. I use natural things. If I need to repel something, I use natural repellents. I remember I had a whole bunch of ladybugs that I released into the garden. I did it twice, and the kids were over the moon. Like they wanted to do it. Mommy, can we release it? So we opened the lid and we released all these ladybugs, and it was just awesome. It was awesome. So, and we've had and then we've had natural things and natural insects in there who took care of anything that was trying to destroy my food. So it was great. And speaking of harvest, I can also talk about the garden itself. It definitely improved from last year, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to the Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, and any other nature spirits who are helping and assisting during this season. We've had a lot of tomatoes, which are my favorite. I love tomatoes, and we've had uh, we've had cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, all sorts of tomatoes. I can't remember them all. We've also had beans, pole beans, lima beans, as my daughter's favorite snow peas. And those were so abundant. I mean, they're still growing now. So I just left those two that are growing now, the tomatoes and the beans. I'm just letting them finish out what they're going to do. I stopped them. So that was also great. And the herbs, I've harvested a lot of herbs and packaged them, dried them, and packaged them for use in magic. And that not to eat. I mean, I've had some that I've eaten, like cilantro. I love cilantro, and I eat those. And there's some others that I will eat too, the parsley and things. But I've also harvested some for magic. And I have these little vials that I put them in. After I dry them, and I put them in. And I've amassed quite a few of them. And that too, I said, well, what am I going to do with them? I know they're going to be used for magic, so I'm just going to store them. And when the time is right, the universe will let me know. Maybe someone will come and ask me they need something, and I will have it. So that's, again, sometimes I don't know why I'm doing things, but I'm going to let the universe let me. I know I should be harvesting it and storing it. So that's what I'm doing. When the time is right, the person will show. The universe will tell me. So you do the work and the opportunity will come. That's something was very hard for me. I used to want things to happen just like that, quick, quick, quick. And when I would get disappointed, then I would be sad or angry, and I would give up. But if I haven't done the work, what can I offer? That's how I look at it now. If I have to, if I don't have anything to give, how can the opportunity happen? And it's not just this. It's not just this. It's also with the show, with writing my articles, with writing my books, with the art. If I want to make money from my art, how can I if I'm not painting, if I'm not doing it regular? It may seem like it's not that nothing is happening right away. But that's okay. I have to do the work. So I'm doing work every day. I have my schedule. I do all my work every day. So to me, this is my job. This is what I do. And I don't mind it. So there we have that. This is a work day. I have my work days where I exercise, work. I get the kids ready for school, take them to school, come back at breakfast, exercise. I probably go for a bike ride or a walk, and then I work. I work until lunch. That's what I do. I work. And the way I work, I use 20 minutes on, 10 minutes doing something that's not as worky. And it could be something like making a bed, sitting down, having a drink. So it's 20 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 20 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And that actually works for me. I actually get a lot done. I mean, I'm actually recording this show now during one of my 20 minutes on. So I think that's fabulous. It may go over 20 minutes. So if it does, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But this is my last 20 minutes before I'm going to do a quick walk or bike ride, and then I will have my lunch. But I really strongly suggest you at this point, since it is harvest time, that you harvest your 2009. Write down the things that you have accomplished. Have you embraced yourself? Did you get more self-confidence? Things like that. For me, this has been a quite a year of reinforcement and encouragement from various spirits. Ocean came to me, Canunas also came to me, and I was very shocked because I wasn't thinking about them, really didn't have a relationship with them or know much about them, and there they were and I've had these visions, and they were strong. And when Canunas came to me, as I probably mentioned in another episode, or on one of my vlogs, my video blogs, that the horn god one night appeared to me. I just saw him in the bedroom, standing where my massage chair is, and I got really sick. My stomach, I felt so sick. And I was like, what did he want? And when I thought about it, and I talked to a devotee of Kanunas, I discovered that the earth is dying. The earth was sick, needed help from people like me, not just me, but people like me to help with the earth, to help the nature. And since I'm such a nature person, I think that probably was a good task. And now, I'm in communication with him, and I'm trying to see that and helping and all of that stuff. So I've had some very good visions, and even in some of my intuitive readings, I've had such crystal clear visions, and I would repeat them to the client, and a lot of them would be shocked. They would be shocked, like, how did you know that? I said, I just repeat what I see and hear from spirit. And when I say spirit, I mean all, whoever is present, whichever spirit form is present. So spirit to me is an encompass all, is an umbrella, so that I don't have to go down a whole list of naming various entities that are present. So I just say spirit. Okay. Also in 2019, we've rescued 2 cats, which are just so darling, so beautiful. We have a 4-year-old Vano who we rescued in March, and a 1-year-old Alfredo, who we rescued in June. Now, they are so wonderful. They're such a great addition to our house. Our household. They're loving. They're wonderful. I mean, everything has changed with them here, and I know. And they chose us, which is quite interesting. They chose us. Vano definitely chose us, and the other one too. And they wanted to come home with us, and I said, "Well, okay, let's go." And it's beautiful. They were just what we needed, all of us, and it balances out the energy in the home. And the house has been calm, calm, and the kids love them, and they're such darling cats. They're beautiful. They've come from some very tough situations. One was abandoned. Mavano was abandoned. He was given up because the family, they moved to Florida. And I'm like, what, you can't have cats in Florida? But that's okay. We got them. And then the other one was found in a hoarding situation where there were 16 other cats, this poor thing. And the animal control, when they had gone in initially, they took 1 cat from them, and because this household was reported as whoever they were, and the animal control people gave them a month to get their act together, and they did not. So they came back and they took all the other cats. There was a whole bunch of kittens that the shelter didn't have any room for all of these kittens, so they had to put them in one crate, I guess that's what you call it, one cage. And the other adult cats were actually adopted. And it's so funny. They were adopted after we adopt Alfredo. And we knew that because when we went to the vet, one of the people, these cats didn't have names. So the vet, the shelter gave them all names of Italian cuisine, like Italian names. So there was like Alfredo, pesto, primavera, carbonara. And I was so happy when I went to the vet and they said, "Oh, was your Alfredo with primavera?" Because we have all these Italian cats. And I said, "Yeah, they were. They were taken together. They were in a group." And they said they have all the adult cats have been adopted in the same town I live in, and that is beautiful. I'm so happy. It's beautiful. So I know I went off on a tangent, but I wanted to give the backstory of our cats, and they're so grateful and they're so happy. So I think that's all I have to say about harvesting your accomplishments for today. But also, after you harvest your accomplishments, give gratitude to the universe. Make sure to give gratitude, to be thankful, and just thank you. You don't have to have a specific prayer. Just say it from your heart. I'm thankful to the universe for all of my accomplishments, for all of my 2019 harvest. And then set your intentions for the next spring. Next thing, think of spring as planting season. But you don't have to wait until spring. You can make your plans, your planting, spiritual planting or whatever planting for the new year. Harvest it. For me, I do like to do spring. That's just me because that's when I plant anyway. So that's when I plant anyway. So that to me, it just goes hand in hand. But, set your intentions. What do you want next year? What things reasonable things do you want to plant so they can be harvested during the fall of next year? So I thank you for listening today, and please visit www.magic with a K and medicine.blogspot.com. And, I also offer remote intuitive readings, spiritual guidance, and some other services on my website. And so check that out. You can email me. You can find us on Facebook under Magic and Medicine. You can also find us on Patreon under Magic and Medicine. And if you can't find any of that stuff, there is a link on the website, magicandmedicine.blogspot.com. There's some articles, there's a vlog, there's books, there's lots of resources. So if you're not checking it out, you are missing out. So I am Candace Nadine Breen. It was great talking with you, and blessed be.
Thank you for listening to It's All Good, Magic, Mysticism, and Earth Medicine. Visit us anytime at www.magicandmedicine.blogspot.com.